Unlike Era 1, Mistborn Era 2 takes a bit more than 3 books to wrap up. And on that, while Era 2 started very down to earth, focusing within small parts of the nation, and mostly dealing with regular criminals, save one rebellious Kandra, Bands of Mourning kinda goes back to the Era 1 vibes of a more mythic conflict. The trick is the antagonists are still criminals. It's just that they're going after leftover ancient artifacts of potential immense power. Wax takes this news pretty well, even though it means his wedding is getting delayed. Milan, one of the allied Kandra from the last book, explains how allomantic and ferochemical abilities can be transferred permanently, either to people or even to objects that anyone can hold to gain their abilities. This being the first time the term investiture is explored in depth in this series. And one of the first times it's explored in depth in the Cosmere as a whole that I've read at this point. The Bands of Mourning are artifacts once used by the Lord Ruler in Era 1, and theoretically could grant his abilities to anyone who uses them. Also, Edwarn is there, and he is Wax's sister. So it's time for a road trip. The characters take a train, amongst other methods, to get to New Seiren, where Edwarn supposedly has his operations set up. All the while they get attacked by his goons who have some never-before-seen tech with them. When our heroes get their hands on it, they are barely able to understand what it is, which leads to more questions, even with the context established by Milan in the opening chapters. When they find Edwarn, he has a whole operation set up around even more unknown devices, which of course leads to some infiltration and escape, followed by a race to see who will find the bands first. One of my favorite additions this book made to Era 2 and the series as a whole is the boatload of world building. Not just for the magic system in the world of Scadrial, but for the Cosmere as a whole. The further you go into the Cosmere, the more interconnected it becomes. And this book felt like a massive piece of the puzzle in all of that. That said, the showdown between Wax and Edwarn was full of dramatic twists, all of which really threw me for a loop. Even with how many Sanderson books I've read, he never loses his ability to surprise me. It does end in a somewhat typical manner, but I still found it very satisfying.